Good morning, everyone. Brian here again with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have for us the comparison contrast video of the ColecoVision original library game, Cabbage Patch Kids Adventures in the Park, and the unreleased Atari VCS 2600 prototype of the game. Now, they're both pretty good, and they're very similar for the most part. One difference, though, that I can point out right away is in their development. Although both were published by Coleco, or Coleco Industries Incorporated, the ColecoVision original library port, that version was actually developed by Konami Corporation, whereas the Atari VCS 2600 unreleased prototype version was actually developed by programmer Ed Temple with Indie Video. Now, as we also know, it was all an attempt by Coleco to leverage one of the more popular properties that was still on the rise, the Cabbage Patch Kids, to try and help prop up or keep alive one of their successful properties that had started on its way down some, the ColecoVision, largely due to the 1983 North American industry and market crash for video games. And I guess it may have worked some. Certainly the game sold some and copies were put out there. With the ColecoVision version at least. Though, I'll admit, it's one of those, it's not super uncommon, but I've become aware over time, it's one of those ColecoVision original library games which is not, it's not uncommon, but it's not the most common one to find. Anyway, I don't want to sit here talking for a whole long time with all this. I've got my ColecoVision Phoenix set up with my copy of the ColecoVision version, whereas the Atari VCS 2600 prototype version, I only have a digitally downloaded playable game ROM of it, so though I am sure probably there have been reproductions made of it, I haven't run across any before. And certainly you can probably find the game ROM available for free, being an old IP for a prototype game, through a number of sources. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get set with the ColecoVision Phoenix, and we're going to take a look at the ColecoVision version first. Then I'll get set back up with my HyperCam Retron 77 and the emulated game ROM file for the Atari VCS 2600 prototype version, and we'll take a look at how they stack up to each other. Okay, so here we go with the ColecoVision original library version. My Phoenix just a second to get there. Here we go. Oh, and one of the other things about the two of them is they are both 1984. Though one was released this one and the other not. Okay, just basic mini thumbstick or mini joystick to move and either fire button to jump. As we know, the ColecoVision version is very colorful and pretty well done, though. Anna Lee on this one, oh, I shouldn't have messed that up. She doesn't look as much like a Cabbage Patch Kid in terms of, like the dolls that we all would have known at one point. On this one as she might, but it still works, I guess. I mean, a Cabbage Patch Kid would be basically, I guess, a toddler anyway. also sounds pretty nice. I mean, the music and all is probably what we would expect from something like this. It has that little bit of a vibe to it that's somewhere between being like something like Pitfall and maybe the Smurf rescuing Gargamel's castle, which is pretty much what it comes down to on number 2. Jumping from too high. Of course, as you go along, the obstacles tend to change some. And get a little bit more tough and complex than they were before. So I guess there'd be a bouncing ball coming through there at some point. Should have been able to miss that. Those root-looking things, as far as I know, are supposed to be apparently a type of cabbage growing out of the ground. Forgot about ball 2. And that's game over. Okay. Well, I think you guys get the idea with that one. Let me guess, reset up with the Atari VCS 2600 prototype version. We'll take a look at that one. Okay, so here we go with the Atari VCS 2600 prototype version. There we go. Pretty much same type of simple control scheme. This one is a bit louder. In this case, Anna Lee looks, to me, a bit more like what we would probably expect a Cabbage Patch Kid, or at least in terms of the doll, to look like. Simple joystick to move and button to jump setup for it, so it's not too strange, but the obstacles, like we can see there, do come in a bit different. Darn it. Okay. I'm gonna take another shot at it. It's been a while since I went through this one. There we go. Lost it. Kind of like the other one, you gotta watch your position on avoiding obstacles because it can get just a bit tricky. Darn it. Didn't even need the other vine. I'm gonna give one more shot till we get through level 1 or close to. I know the last part always gives me trouble trying to get through it. Oh, come on. There's 2 and we're off. can get through this if I just give it a little bit more on it. Okay, that's enough of that. Start from the beginning. Emily does have quite... No, you don't. She does have quite a jump that really jumps forward every time that you do. Even if you're not pressing forward on the joystick, that happens, so... Tell you one thing that kind of comes and goes. I'm not sure if it's my game ROM or the game itself, but it certainly does have a tendency to the music cuts in and out just a bit once in a while, so this is the blocks like we have on the other one, except for it's a bit different. I never could get that one right. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm not going to keep starting it over just to lose there. Anyway, I think you guys get the idea of the gameplay on that one anyway, by now. Okay, so those were the two versions of Cabbage Patch Kids Adventures in the Park. Gosh, not even hardly 13 minutes into this video. Gonna be one of my shorter comparison contrast videos, I guess. But I did go ahead and cut out talking too much for the first part. I just looked at it. Anyway, they're both pretty good versions of the game. The second one, the Atari VCS 2600 prototype, that one last part of that first level can be a bit tough, but that's probably more me getting the timing wrong and not being as apt at playing the game as the game itself. But they're both pretty good. I think actually with that one, Coleco had a bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, Cabbage Patch Kids may not be the type of thing that would appeal to all gamers. Maybe certainly some to female gamers more so, as, you know, dolls are generally considered more girls' toys. But as it goes, that could have been... It probably wouldn't have helped, you know, prop up the ColecoVision as much because it wasn't on it, but still would have been a chance to make some extra profits had it been released. So I think they kind of missed an opportunity there. And it's not too bad. It's pretty well complete, and you can play through quite a bit more than I got through. So I think overall both are pretty good and pretty nice. Though, as usual, I'm going to let you guys, leave up to you guys to decide what you would think. Because I don't like to give an opinion on which version I think is better or not that much. To me, they're both fine, both pretty good. Even though on the second I have more trouble with that one part. And, well, just decide for yourselves which one you happen to think you would like better or don't. In any case, to me, they're both pretty good, and you'd be fine playing either one of them, just depending, so... Unfortunately, I did not have any recommendations of the links, as I did not see where any of my preferred YouTubers had actually compared and contrasted these two. Maybe because one's a prototype and one was released, and I see a lot more, it's more released versions of games that get compared and contrasted, where prototypes oftentimes get left out. Me, if it's a more or less complete prototype, I'll throw it in there. Or even if it's not nearly as complete, why not? Anyway, if you, big shout out to my Atari 2600 Facebook group. my ColecoVision and Atom Fanatics Facebook group, and my ColecoVision World Facebook group. Hope you guys are all over there, and hopefully this video won't take too long to upload and be available for everyone in those there, as well as here on Facebook. I mean, YouTube, sorry. Still early. And, well, those who've been watching my announcement post should know what's coming up with the tomorrow's homebrew prototype or prober review, as I did post it. So keep your eyes peeled for that, since tomorrow is Sunday and this should be coming down. In the meantime, if you enjoy my channel's content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and please don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comments section below. You guys take care, have a wonderful Saturday, and hopefully I will see everyone back here again tomorrow, Sunday.